Hey, hopefully you can hear me. Right now what I'm doing is I am cooking some eggs, cooking about 3 eggs. Usually I like to have 3 eggs every morning. Now, what we're going to talk about today is really what's called direct versus indirect marketing. So, and I'm trying to slow down. Sometimes like when I'm doing my regular YouTube videos, right, I speak really fast. I'm super excited, but I'm trying to kind of like slow down and speak a little bit slower today than what I usually would. Now, what we're talking about, so what do they mean direct versus indirect marketing? So direct marketing, direct response marketing is when you are trying to get someone to pay money for what you have today. Versus indirect is when you're trying to build a relationship with someone to get them to want to work with you over time. Okay? Now, when you're first getting started, most people want to get clients today, right? And what that leads to is you do a lot of activities that maybe are good enough to get the person on the phone, but not really enough to get someone to want to pay you, a higher price point. Now, why is that significant that, we're trying to get them to pay a higher price points? Because the higher the price we get them to pay, the less clients we need to go and reach our financial goals. So, one misconception people have when it comes to indirect marketing is that it has to take a long time to get someone to do it, right? All the only difference between direct versus indirect is, are you leading with a problem or are you leading with trying to build a relationship with a person, right? For me, I prefer to go more indirect because I've been in this game so long that I know that most people who you talk to on day number one are not necessarily going to be ready to buy from you on that same day, right? So what I try and do is I am going indirect because I'm trying to maximize my total number of leads. Now, I learned this principle when I started paying for advertisements, because when I first started paying for advertisements, I would have them go to either like a presentation or a website. And if someone didn't go and buy the thing that I wanted to sell, like my accounting services, off of the website advertisement, I would almost lose them forever. Like I would just never be able to get them to buy again. So I felt like I was losing a lot of leads. So I switched my marketing to being more of like branding type marketing, where it's like someone would join either a community or a group, or they follow my profile, and then I would message them forever till they bought. And that was really cool because even though it wasn't as fast as like when you send them to a website, I was retaining a much higher percentage of those leads to actually buy from me, and it was actually a lot cheaper than what it was when I was trying to directly get them to go straight to the website. Now, that's the style I like using. It's also the style I teach our students in our mentorship program, because 50% of the people that will purchase your accounting services are going to tell you no at some point in your process. They're going to say no to getting on a consultation call with you. They're going to say, some other people are going to say no to your price point. Some other people are going to say no to just working with you in general. Some people are going to get on the phone and change their mind and say like they want to do it themselves. A million different reasons why people don't buy. And if you just went direct, right, you lose that lead forever, because as soon as they tell you no, that's the end of your relationship. Your relationship, when you go direct, is only based on them having the problem and if they want you to solve that problem right now or not. But when you have it indirect, if someone tells you no, it's not the end of the road, because you guys are still micro friends. You still have a relationship outside of that. It's kind of like dating, right? If some people, when it's like they do like those one night stands, right, where it's like they meet somebody, maybe at like, I don't know, someplace, and then they go and they're with that person, right? As soon as you're out of that environment and you guys never have anything in common, a lot of those people will just fall off and you never speak to that person again. Versus if instead you built a relationship, like maybe it's someone that you went to, let's say, school with, and you see that person every single day, right? You have a much higher chance of that turning to something significant, because you're seeing that person, and there's other things that are keeping you guys talking together outside of just the physical relationship kind of thing. It's the same thing with this business, right? If I like to think of like the direct response as like a one, like kind of like a one night stand, right? It's like you're trying to go and do what you need to do immediately, versus indirect marketing is more about like building a relationship and dating somebody. So it's like, okay, the first date doesn't go that well, or maybe they have to cancel the first date for whatever reason. Okay, cool. You guys are still friends. You guys are still talking outside of it. So it allows you to keep them inside the loop, and it just works a lot better. And the cool thing about that is, unlike dating, you don't have to be exclusively talking to one lead. You can be building 100 relationships at the same time, checking in with 200 people, 300, 1,000 people. For me, we check in with about, depends on the platform, depends on the profile. Probably about like, and it's a little bit different now too for us because we got a lot smarter the last year about like how to message people to get clients. So it's like it doesn't take quite as much work as it used to. There was a time when like we would follow up with like at least 500 people per day, if not more, because it's 160 on Instagram, like 100 on Facebook. I would reach out to like X amount of people too. We had the link up, like it was close to 500 people a day we're reaching out to, and that's a lot. That's a lot, you know. But that's what it takes, and then you just get a really good percentage of those people to actually like end up wanting to work with you, and then it's just easy, just very simple. That when you can get your business to be like that simple and like that mathematically driven, because then you know exactly how many relationships you need to start in order to go and get a new client, and you can just actually start multiplying that number out. So let's say that like if you know it takes about 100 people communicated with in order to get one client, okay, so if you want to get 2 clients, you just got to go and communicate with 200 people. Now, if you want to get 2 clients a day, that means you have to go talk to 100 or 200 people, and you talk to the 200 people in one day, you get 2 clients. If you want to get 2 clients over a month, you just talk to 200 people over a month. Same thing for a week, right? So once you know the math, you can really start manipulating your business to grow faster by understanding like what it is. Now, if you're doing stuff organically just means like you're doing like free outreach or free methodologies. You generally can't make the math work as fast in every single case, right? So for example, let's say that you know that it takes 50 friend requests on Facebook in order to get a client, right? Now I'm just saying a hypothetical number. I'm not saying that's what that's going to be for you. It's not like you can send out 100 friend requests every single day. Like there's going to be limits on the platform. Like the platform Facebook's going to be like, hey, you're moving too fast. I don't want you to build that many friendships that fast, right? So when you start paying for advertising, that's when it becomes a little more consistent. That's when you can start really manipulating those numbers. But you're kind of sacrificing, when you're doing advertising, you're sacrificing profit margin for certainty. When you're doing organic, it's going to be much more profitable, and you're also giving up speed. So I'm sorry, you're for advertising, you are sacrificing profit margin for speed. For organic, you sacrifice speed for profit margin. So it depends kind of what you want. Like I was listening to this gentleman. He was kind of running through some of his numbers for his bookkeeping, and he's doing like 20K, 30K a month, and he has like very, very little expenses, right? He's not really advertising, but it took him 3 years to kind of get there, which is a really good pace for kind of our industry. But it's like, if you do the advertising thing, it doesn't have to take you that many years to kind of get there, right? I'm not saying if you're a beginner to advertise. I'm not necessarily saying, I'm just speaking out loud as to like what are the difference between the two, right? Because then you can mix direct and indirect with organic versus paid, and then you can really create your own sort of like matrix. Like so for me, for example, we have we're actually building out some advertising for the accounting firm, and I'm think when my vision for it would be to replace a platform like an Upwork. So, and when I say replace a platform like Upwork, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to make it public. You know what I mean? It's not like I want to be Upwork. What I'm trying to do is see if I can run an ad, and then within like one day, you get X number of people who are saying they need like help, and from there we can use some of our indirect marketing to build a friendship with them, and I can really control that aspect of it. Yeah, because that'd be kind of cool to kind of see if I could do that. And like see like what kind of speed would I grow the bookkeeping side with that, and just kind of see the challenge when it comes to like Bark and Upwork is in a lot of cases like even Thumbtack to a certain degree is like the leads they'll give you are like pretty small. It's like beginner clients, or they might be like kind of trash where it's like they fill out the form but they didn't really fill out a form, so to speak. They just kind of like we're just kind of just randomly doing something. So it's just the lead quality is not amazing. So, but if you can create your own version, I could actually teach my stuff to filter out bad leads or leads I don't want, and I can train my advertising to be like as precise as I possibly want. Sorry, I'm getting a little close to the camera because I'm trying to sit down. But that's kind of the vision of where I'm going, what I think I'm gonna be doing, you know. So hopefully I learned something new. Again, there's nothing wrong with direct. There's nothing wrong with indirect. I just prefer to go indirect because I spend a lot of money on ads and I want to retain my ads as much as possible, right? And when you're doing advertising too, sometimes it can take a person a whole year before they actually buy from you. So if you can afford to wait for an entire year, then advertising could be, good for you. If you can't, I don't know if advertising's the best. Because advertising, if you know what you're doing, is very fast. Advertising, if you don't know what you're doing, can be very slow. So, just all it is, that's just kind of where my mind's at. Talk to you soon. I gotta eat some breakfast. I don't like eating on camera, except for it's like an apple or like a gum or whatever. But, one of those things. Talk to you soon.